Well, you've heard the phrase, follow the money. That is exactly what Seamus Bruner has been doing at Peter Schweizer's Government Accountability Institute for more than a decade. He's a best-selling author. This is the book written with John Solomon, a great reporter, and it's called Fallout. And his findings have made very often front-page headlines. He's been on the top researcher list for Peter Schweizer's books exposing Clinton and now Joe Biden and the corruption. And the Biden's sketchy global business deals that James Comer was just talking about really do pose a national security threat. Now, for more on all of this, I want you to welcome to our show an extraordinary researcher. We're happy to have him, Seamus Bruner. Seamus, great to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to be with you, Governor.
Perfect that you're here the same night that Congressman Comer is here, because that's what you guys have been digging around in as well at the Government Accountability Institute. When did you first kind of start sniffing that something just isn't altogether right with what the Bidens have done in business?
So right around the time of the Clinton Cash book, which readers may remember was the Clinton Foundation that blew that wide open, just after that we decided, well, let's look at the Bidens, see what they've been up to. So this would be around 2017. 2018 is when Peter Schweizer's book, Secret Empires, came out. That blew open the Ukraine, Burisma story, the China story, and we've been on it ever since.
So, you know, it's hard for many of us to understand why there's not more public attention. The press obviously tries their best not just to ignore it, but to actually cover it up, and that's worse. Why is it that the evidence that Congressman Comer and what you've found is not landing on ears that care out there in the media?
Well, it's exactly like you said, the media is in on it. They're complicit. They've been covering up for not just Biden, but since Obama, even the Clintons. So they've got some complicity in these things. They were there when Joe Biden said, I never talked to my son about his business dealings. They covered that and they acted like that was true. And now we know, thanks to Congressman Comer, that's not true. Joe Biden was intimately involved.
You know, everybody thought Donald Trump was really being mean in the debates back in 2020 when he said, you've had business dealings with China. And Joe puffed up, I have never had any, and denied it. And people thought, boy, Trump just went after him in, shots and blanks. Turned out he was the only one on the stage telling the truth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they impeached Donald Trump for just asking some questions, some very simple questions about what was going on in Ukraine. And now we know he was right all along. The Bidens were up to no good.
Let's talk about the special counsel that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, has appointed, David Weiss. Weiss has basically kind of tried to make a deal with Hunter that would have given him nothing. I mean, it would have been a scot-free deal. Don't look at any of the felonies issues, couple of misdemeanors. It wasn't a slap on the wrist. It was a kiss on the cheek. So Weiss is now going to be appointed to be the special counsel. Does that give you any comfort at all, or should we be worried about it?
Absolutely not. The appointment of David Weiss as the special prosecutor is possibly the most egregious move in the Biden cover-up saga. I mean, like you said, he had just given Hunter a sweetheart deal, and now he gets to give him a special sweetheart deal. I mean, the deal was so crooked that a judge blew it up, and so now this move seems to extend the cover-up effort, possibly past the election.
And IRS whistleblowers both testified that Weiss said, I can't push this because higher up have told me to back off. So, somebody's not quite getting this right. Merrick Garland pretends that, he's hands off. I don't believe that for a minute. Do you?
Not at all. The White House, the DOJ, they have been covering up for the Biden family crimes, or alleged crimes, I guess, at this point, but they look pretty serious like crimes. They've been covering up since the beginning.
Seamus, what can happen, though? I mean, obviously, Congress does have the power to subpoena, so they can get to some of this. Will anything ultimately kind of unfold that will hold people accountable?
Well, I think what Congressman Comer and the Oversight Committee have done is a form of justice, but we obviously need a lot more than that. We need accountability. So the things we're talking about here with Joe Biden, there's big allegations of bribery. The U.S. Constitution says that specifically bribery is among the high crimes and misdemeanors that demand impeachment. So I think impeachment should begin as soon as possible. That would be a form of justice, but until there's a new administration, until there's new leadership at the DOJ, I don't see them prosecuting Hunter Biden. They've shown every indication it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be more sweetheart deals, more extending the past the statute of limitations.
You know, we were talking with the congressman about $20 million that went to these phony companies. You have said that there is big money coming from Russian oligarch Elena Baturina, who was the wife of the Moscow mayor. Now, we're talking, and you mentioned money well beyond that. What kind of money are you even suggesting might be involved in those transactions?
So Congressman Comer and the Oversight Committee, they have found $3.5 million in the bank records. But at the Government Accountability Institute, we obtained court records where Devin Archer said that it could be as high as $200 million that Elena Baturina had invested in this Burnham asset management company that's closely tied to the Bidens. Hunter was an executive there. He got money out of that. Now, we're not saying that Biden's got $200 million, but that's exactly how much Elena Baturina is alleged to have invested in a Biden-linked entity.
Where do these people get that kind of money? I mean, $200 million is not the kind of money that you carry in your pocket. That's a lot of dough, $200 million. Where do they get that money?
So Elena Baturina, she is like an oligarch's oligarch. She's the first female billionaire in Russia. She's got close ties to Putin. We found in the WikiLeaks, she's actually has ties to organized crime. A lot of that money was acquired through corrupt dealings in Moscow, real estate dealings and sweetheart, land grab type stuff. And so the timing here is what's really interesting. So when does she invest in the Biden businesses? It's 2014. It's during the Maidan Revolution, after the Maidan Revolution, with the overthrow of the president of Ukraine. A lot of Russian oligarchs were thinking, is the U.S. going to put sanctions on us? And if the U.S. is going to sanction us, we need to get our money out of here. So they started looking for safe havens. And so this oligarch, Baturina, she invested where safer than with the son of the vice president. So that's possibly, the safest place you could put your money if you're a Russian oligarch is with the Bidens.
I mean, this is frightening stuff. Seamus, it's important what you're discovering. I hope people will get the book Fallout that you've written with John Solomon, but more importantly, they need to follow what is going on at the Government Accountability Institute. For our audience, Seamus's books are available everywhere that books are sold, as well as Peter Schweizer's books. And we've got links for you, as always, at Huckabee.tv. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I hope you will now. The button is just below this video, and there's a little bell next to it. If you click on those, YouTube will reluctantly start letting you know when we've got a new video uploaded.